Today's Sunshine Note is titled, Afraid of the Master. And the one also who had received the 1 talent came up and said, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you scattered no seed. And I was afraid, and I went away and hid your talent in the ground. See, you have what is yours. Matthew chapter 25, verse 24 and 25. Doug Bing is one of my bosses in my church organization. When pastors on my staff are called to work in another district, he is the person who finds a replacement to recommend to my church and to the governing body that operates the churches in our conference. Doug is good at what he does, and I like him a lot. Doug is a naughty man. Well, at least he was for a moment. We were in the process of looking for a new associate pastor, and Doug had given me the name of a guy he was going to contact and give the thumbs up to move into our district. According to protocol, Doug would meet with an executive committee and affirm the call. Doug would call the new pastor and tell him the news, and then I would call the pastor and welcome him into our church. I was overexcited about the new hire, so I called and told him all the stuff Doug was supposed to tell him before Doug called. When Doug found out that I had jumped ahead of the game, he called me and ripped into me for about 2 minutes on the phone. I felt so embarrassed and horrible until Doug started laughing and said, Just kidding. You give me a hard time all the time, so I figured it was my turn. What a relief. This was the man I knew him to be. I am glad that the guy I admired and respected turned out to be the guy I admired and respected. In the parable in Matthew 25, the man with 1 talent projected qualities onto the master that just were not true. Often when we make God out to be something he is not, we end up with everything we projected him out to be, not because he is those things, but because we suppose him to be those things. There is a danger that we could become like the people in the book of Revelation who are afraid of the wrath of the Lamb. Can you imagine being afraid of a lamb? And the one also who had received the 1 talent came up and said, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. And I was afraid and went away and hid your talent in the ground. See, you have what is yours. Matthew 25, verse 24 and 25. May God bless you today.